somebody has to call Gautam. Yeah. So now Krishna intentionally, though Krishna has spoken Bhagavad Gita, though many people have pacified Yudhishthira Maharaj, but still his heart is not clear. Still he is in depression only, and he's crying that I've killed so many people. I've killed many friends of the women. I've just caused enmity to such an extent. And even if I try to do material work, material welfare work, it is not going to undo it. So now, because Krishna wants Bhishma Pitamaha to speak the same knowledge which Krishna gave to Arjuna. And also Krishna wants to fulfill the desire of Bhishma Pitamaha to have darshan of Krishna in the mood in which he loves Krishna. He loves Krishna in the mood of Parthasarathy. So chapter 9, the passing of Bhishma Deva in the presence of Lord Krishna. Exactly on the day of Shankran, he leaves the body. And our chapter is also going to, I think, end that time. 15th is Shankranti. 15th is Shankranti, that is coming on Monday. 16th. Isn't it? 15th is Shankranti. It's not 14th, 15th is Shankranti. 16th will be Tuesday. Let us see whether we can have the time. Sutuvacha iti bhitaha prajadrohat sarvadharma vivitsaya tato vinashanam pragat yatra deva vratopatat vatopatat. So Sutuvacha, Suta Goswami says, iti, thus bhitaha, being afraid of, prajadrohat, of killing the subjects, sarvadharma, all acts of religion, vivitsaya, for understanding, tata, thereafter, vinashalam, the place where the fight was held, vinashalam. One is vinashanam. Vinashanam means killing, destruction. Vinashanam means the place where the fight was held, where the destruction was done. Pragat, he went, yatra where, Devavrataha, Bhishma Deva, apatat, he down for passing away. So Maharaj Yudhishthira was so afraid. He was in fear because he has killed so many subjects. So he went to the scene of massacre. The word is used as massacre because it is said so many, 64 lakh people were killed. So many people were killed. 6,400 lakh people were killed. Not even 64 lakh, 6,400 lakh people. So Bhishma Deva was lying on a bed of arrows, about to pass away. Okay. Vimla Veer. Somebody has to put the message. By mistake, the timing has been changed. So for today, please adjust.
Text 1. Chapter 9, text 1. Sut Uvacha.
What?
Vita Praja Drohat Sarva Dharma Vivitsaya Tato Vinashanam Ragada Yatra Debrato Apatat. Translate.
Your voice is not coming properly. Haribol Kamalakshi Mataji, mute your phone. Anupama Daya, please mute your phone. Daya Sagar Prabhu. Read Vimla.
Translation. Suta Goswami said, being afraid for having killed so many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaja Yudhishthira went to the scene of the massacre. There Bhishma Dev was lying on a bed of arrows, about to pass away. Purport. In this 9th chapter, as it is willed by Lord Shri Krishna, Bhishma Dev will impart instructions to King Yudhishthira on the subject of occupational duties. Bhishma Dev will also offer his last prayers to the Lord on the verge of from this mortal world and thus become liberated from the bondage of further material engagements.
Knowledge.
Anupama Mataji, Daya Sagar Prabhu, please mute your phone.
Bhishma Dev was endowed with the power of leaving his material body at will, and his lying down on the bed of arrows was his own choice. This passing away of the great warrior attracted the attention of all the contemporary elites, and all of them assembled there to show their feelings of love, respect, and affection for the great soul. Hare Krishna.
1 minute. Gautam, make me the host. Gautam, or you mute. If you're the host, you mute. I don't know whether Gautam is hearing or not. तदा ते भ्रातरः सर्वे सदश्वै स्वर्णभूषितैः अन्वगच्छन् रथैर्विप्रा व्यासधौम्यादयस्तथा. Tada, at that time, they all of them, Bhratarah, the brothers, Sarve, all together, all the brothers together, Sat Ashvahi, drawn by first class horses, Swarna, gold, Bhushitahi, decorated with, Anvagachan, followed one after another, Rathai, on the chariots, Vipraha, O Brahmanas, Vyasa, the sage Vyasa, Dhaumya, Dhaumya Rishi, then Adhyaha, others, Tatha also. So everybody sat on their first class chariots drawn by the first class horses and decorated with gold ornaments. With them Vyasa, Rishi, Dhaumya, everybody went. Bhagavanapi viprarshe rathena sadharanjayah satairvya rochataha nrupa kuvera iva ghuyakaihi. Bhagavanapi viprarshe rathena sadhananjayah satairvyarochata nrupa kuvera iva guhyakaihi. Bhagavan, when Krishna also followed, Api also, Vipra Arshe, was sage among the Brahmanas, Rathena also sat on the chariot. Sutta Goswami is speaking to Shonakadi Rishi. Sadhananjaya, along with Dhananjaya, that is Arjuna, Sahahi, Tai by them, Vyarochataha, appeared to be highly aristocratic, Nripaha, the king Yudhishthir, Kuveraha, Kuver, the treasurer of the demigods, Eva as Guhakaihi, companions known as Guhakais. So the whole scene was looking very aristocratic. The first class chariots, first class horses. Lord Krishna is seated with Arjuna. Now, in this way, anyhow, when Lord seated with Arjuna, that means what? Lord is only drawing the chariot. Lord loves to draw the chariot of Arjuna. That is why Parthasarathi, this form, is very much worshipped by Bhishma Pitama. We'll take the third verse also, then all together, Narayana will read. Drishtva nipatitam bhumau divaschuta mivamaram praremo pandava bhishmam sanuga saha chakrina. Thus seeing nipatitam, lay down, bhumau, on the ground, diva, from the sky, chutam, fallen, iva, like, amaram, demigod, pranemo, bowed down, Pandava, the sons of Pandu, Bhishma, unto Bhishma, Sanugaha, with the younger brothers, Saha, also with Chakrina, the Lord carrying the disc. So, when they saw Bhishma lying down on the bed of arrows, it was looking, the scene was like a demigod falling from the sky, fallen from the sky. Pandavas, along with, headed by Yudhishthir, along with his younger brothers, and Krishna, everybody paid obeisances to Bhishma Pitama. The whole scene is very, very pathetic because Pandava's most dearest grandfather, Bhishma Pitama, especially Arjuna's dearest grandfather, is lying on the bed of arrows. It is said when he was very thirsty, it is Arjuna who put the arrow and removed Ganga. And in this way, Ganga goes in the mouth of Arjuna. Bhishma quenches the thirst of Bhishma. So the whole scene is very, very pathetic scene. And in this, all the Pandavas and Krishna, they pay obeisances to Bhishma. Okay, Narayana start.
तदा ते भ्रातरः सर्वे सदैश सदैश् सदश्वै सदश्वै स्वर्णभूषितैः अन्वगच्छन् रथैर्विप्रा व्यासधौ व्यासधौम्या व्यासधौम्यादयस्तथा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. At that time, all his brothers followed him on beautiful chariots drawn by first class horses decorated with gold ornaments. With them were Vyasa and rishis like Dhaumya, the learned priest of the Pandavas, and others. Bhagavanapi विप्रर्षे रथेन स धनञ्जयः सतैर्व्यरोचत नृपः कुबेर इव गुह्यकैः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. O sage amongst the Brahmanas, Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, also followed, seated on a chariot with Arjuna. Thus, King Yudhishthir appeared very aristocratic, like Kuvera, surrounded by his companions, the Guhyakas. Purport: Lord Shri Krishna wanted the Pandavas to be present before Bhishma Dev in the most aristocratic order so that he might be pleased to see them happy at the time of his death. Kuvera is the richest of all demigods, and herein King Yudhishthir appeared like him, Kuvera, for the procession along with Sri Krishna was quite appropriate to the royalty of King Yudhishthira. दृष्ट्वा निपतितं भूमौ दिव्यश्च्युत मिवामरं प्रणेमु पाण्डवा भीष्मं सानुगा सचक्रिणा. Translation: Seeing him, Bhishma, lying on the ground like a demigod fallen from the sky, the Pandava king Yudhishthir, along with his younger brothers and Lord Krishna, bowed down before him. Purport: Lord Krishna was also a younger cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthir as well as the intimate friend of Arjuna, but all the family members of the Pandavas knew Lord Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. The Lord, although conscious of his supreme position, always behaved in a humanly custom, and so he also bowed down before the dying Bhishma Dev as if he were one of the younger brothers of King Yudhishthir. Hare Krishna.
So Lord Krishna is also going along with them. Why? He likes to play the role of the younger brother of Yudhishthir. That is the love of Krishna to the Pandavas. Somewhere in Bhagavatam, the question was asked by the Pandavas. Krishna is so merciful to Prahlad Maharaj. Krishna is very merciful to the gopis or the Brajavasis. The answer is there. Krishna is more merciful to you all. Krishna stayed with you. Krishna acted to be like your brother. Krishna played with you. So Pandavas are equally more merciful, are equally more fortunate. They are more fortunate like the Brajavasis. They are also more fortunate. Next. Tava brahmarshaya sarve devarshayascha sattamaha rajarshayascha satrasan drashtum bharata pungavam tatra brahmarshayah sarve. All the rishis among the Brahmanas, tatra there. Sarve all, Deva rishis among the demigods. Cha Sattamaha, situated in the quality of goodness. Raja rishis among the kings. Cha and Tatra, in that place. Asan, represent. Drashtum, just to see. Bharata, the descendants of King Bharat. Pungavam, chief of. Now, Brahma rishis are there. That means rishis among the Brahmanas. What's the meaning Brahma rishi? Those who have complete sense control, they're known as Brahma rishis. Those who are Rishis among the demigods. Yes, those who have complete sense control even among the demigods. Those who follow all the rules and regulations, those who are inclined in devotion. They are Brahma Rishis, Raja Rishis, though Raja, but still has Vairagya, follows all the principles, has too much of Bhakti. They are Raja Rishis. Among the Brahmanas, he is Brahma Rishi. The Brahmana can be Rasta, but he has complete sense control. He has too much love for Krishna. They are known as Brahma Rishis. Brahma Rishis, Raja Rishis. Then you have Deva Rishis. So all of them were present. And they are all situated in the quality of goodness. Sattvam Sanjayate Jnanam. If that pure goodness is there, then only they are complete in their knowledge or they are full in their knowledge. Okay. Kusum, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Tatra Brahmarshaya Sarve Devarshayascha Saptama Rajarshayascha Tatrasan
Raja.
Rajarshayascha Tatrasan Drashtum Bharata Pungavam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Just to see the chief of the descendants of King Bharata, Bhishma, all the great souls in the universe, namely the rishis among the demigods, brahmanas and kings, all situated in the quality of goodness, were assembled there. Purport: the rishis are those who have attained perfection by spiritual achievements. Such spiritual achievements can be earned by all, whether one is a king or a mendicant. Bhishma Deva himself was also one of the Brahma rishis and the chief of the descendants of King Bharata. All rishis are situated in the quality of goodness. All of them assembled there on hearing the news of the great warrior's impending death. Hare Krishna.
Rishis can come from any varnas. It can be from Brahmacharya or Vanaprastha. It can be also from any ashrama, any varna. Varna is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. If they have the quality of goodness, then naturally they can come from any varnas. Generally, we don't count Shudras in it, because they are mostly in tamas. But even though if Lord's anugraha is there, even though they may be from the low caste community, but they are situated in goodness, then they are also rishis. Like Haridas Thakur, he came from Mlechas, Kanakadas, Tirupan Alvar. So it doesn't matter which varna. Rishis and Brahma Rishis means they are completely in the mode of goodness. Parvato Narado Dhaumyo Bhagavan Badarayanaha Brahadashvo Bharatvajaha Sashishyo Renukasutaha. Parvato Naradaha Dhaumyaha Bhagavan Badarayana. Let us see who are all the sages are present there. Parvata Muni was there, Narada Muni is there, Dhaumya Rishi is there. Then Vyasa is there, who is incarnation of Godhead. Brahadashvaha is there, Bharadwaj is there. This is a Bharadwaj Gotra. All these sages only, Sapta Rishis. Bharadwaj is there, Sashishyaha along with his disciples. Then Renuka Sutta is there, Parashuram is also there, just see. Lord is also present, Lord's incarnation, Vyasa is also there, literally incarnation. Lord Shakti Avesh Avatar, Parashuram is also there. So in this Leela, Lord along with Shakti Avesh Avatar and the literary incarnation, so both are present. Both incarnation is present along with Lord. Then Vashishta Indra Pramadash Trito Grat Samado Sitaha Kakshivan Gautamo Trishcha Kaushikotha Sudarshanaha. Vashisht is also there. Vashisht is also present. Indra Pramadaha. Indra Pramad is there. Tritaha. Krutsamadaha, Krutsamada Rishi, Asitaha. We have this word, Asitaha Devalo Vyasaha, Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjuna says, I will listen to whatever you say. Now you yourself are declaring. Asita is also declaring. This Asita is also here. Kakshivan is also there. Gautama Rishi is there. Atri Rishi is also there. Then Kaushikaha, Vishwamitra is also there. Sudarshana is also present. So all the sages, Sapta Rishis are there, along with Vyasa, along with Parashuram. Everybody is present. Okay, about one Rishi has been given. It's a big purport. It goes up to 3 pages. So, Gadadhar Prabhu, read the verse. Read about Parvat Muni, Narada Muni, about Dhaumya. Jumur, if you are free, you can read. Jumur will read about Dhaumya, about Badarayana. Okay, till here we will see. Okay, start.
Hare Krishna, Kanad Namati. Bhagavato Narado Daumyo Bhagavan Adarayana Brahadosvo Bharadavjaha Bradavajaha Sasisyo Renuka Sutaha Vasista Indra Pramadas Tito Vitsamado Asutaha Kaksivan Gautamo Atrischa Kausiko Ata Sudasanaha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the sages like Parvatani, Narada, Daumya, Vyasa, the incarnation of God, Bradasva, Pradavaja, and Parashurama and disciples, Vasista, Indra Pramada, Trita, Gritsamada, Asita, Kaksivan, Gautama, Atri, Kaushika, and Sudasana were present. Purport. Purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Too much disturbance Prabhuji, from your side.
Yeah. Parvata Muni is
too much disturbance is coming from your side, Prabhuji. Just see your, read.
Parvata Muni is considered to be one of the oldest sages. He is almost always a constant companion of Narada Muni. They are always spacemen, competent to travel in the air without the help of any material vehicle. Parvata Muni is also a Deva Rishi, or a great sages amongst the demigods, like Narada. He was present along with Narada at the sacrificial ceremony of Maharaja Janmejaya, son of Maharaja Parikshit. In this sacrifice, all the snacks of the world were killed. Parvata Muni and Narada Muni are called Gandharvas also because they can travel in the air singing the glories of the Lord. Since they can travel in the air, they observed Draupadi's Swayamvara ceremony, selecting of her own husband from the air. Like Narada Muni, Parvata Muni also used to visit the royal assembly in the heaven of King Indra. As a Gandharva, sometimes he visited the royal assembly by Kuvera, one of the important demigods. Both the Narada and Parvata were once in trouble with the daughter of Maharaja Sranjaya. Maharaja Sranjaya got the benediction of a son by Parvata Muni. Narada Muni is inevitably associated with the narrations of the Puranas. He is described in the Bhagavatam. In his previous life, he was the son of maid servant, but by good association with the pure devotees, the son of maid became enlightened in devotional service. And in the next life, he became a perfect man, comparable with himself, only. In the Mahabharata, his name is mentioned in many places. He is the principal Devrishi, or the chief sage among the demigods. He is the son and disciple of Brahmaji, and from him the disciplic succession in the line of Brahma spread. He initiated Prahlad Maharaja, Dhruv Maharaja, and many celebrated devotees of Lord. He initiated even Vyasadeva, the author of the Vedic literature, and from Vyasadeva. Madhvacharya was initiated, and thus the Madhva Sampradaya, in which the Gaudiya Sampradaya is also included, has spread all over the universe. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belonged to his Madhav Sampradaya. Therefore, Brahmaji, Narada, Vyasa, down to Madhva, Chaitanya and Goswamis all belong to the same line of disciplic success. Naraji has instructed many kings from time immemorial. In the Bhagavatam, we can see that he instructed Prahlad Maharaja while he was in the womb of his mother. And he instructed Vyasadeva, father of Krishna, as well Maharaja Yudhishthira. Daumya, a great... Reksha Mataji, can I continue?
Yes.
Jumur can
Yes.
read.
Yes, Mataji, I can read. Dhaumya, a great sage who practiced severe penances at Utko Tirtha and was appointed royal priest of the Pandava kings. He acted as a priest in many religious functions of the Pandavas, samskar, and also each of the Pandavas was attended by him at the betrothal of Draupadi. He was present even during the exile of the Pandavas and used to advise them in circumstances when they were perplexed. He instructed them how to live incognito for 1 year, and his instructions were strictly followed by the Pandavas during that time. His name is mentioned also when the general funeral ceremony was performed after the battle of Kurukshetra. In the Anushashan Parva of Mahabharat 127.15 to 16, he gave very elaborate religious instructions to Maharaj Yudhishthir. He was actually the right type of priest of a householder, for he could guide the Pandavas on the right path of religion. A priest is meant for guiding the householder progressively in the right path of ashrama dharma or the occupational duty of a particular caste. There is practically no difference between the family priest and the spiritual master. The sages, saints, and brahmanas were specially meant for such functions. Badarayana Vyasadev. He is known as Krishna Dvaipayana, Satyavati Sutta, Parasharya, Parasharatmaja, Badarayana, Vedavyas, etc. He was the son of Mahamuni Parashar in the womb of Satyavati prior to her betrothal with Maharaj Shantanu, the father of the great general grandfather Bhishmadev. He is a powerful incarnation of Narayana and he broadcasts the Vedic wisdom to the world. As such, Vyasadeva is offered respects before one chants the Vedic literature, especially the Puranas. Sukadev Goswami was his son, and rishis like Vaishampayana were his disciples for different branches of the Vedas. He is the author of the great epic Mahabharata and the great transcendental literature Bhagavatam. The Brahma Sutras, the Vedanta Sutras, or Badarayana Sutras were compiled by him. Amongst sages, he is the most respected author by dint of severe penances. When he wanted to record the great epic Mahabharata for the welfare of all people in the age of Kali, he was feeling the necessity of a powerful writer who could take up his dictation. By the order of Brahmaji, Sri Ganeshji took up the charge of noting down the dictation on the condition that Vyasadeva would not stop dictation for a moment. The Mahabharata was thus compiled by the joint endeavor of Vyas and Ganesha. By the order of his mother Satyavati, who was later married to Maharaj Shantanu, and by request of Bhishmadev, the eldest son of Maharaj Shantanu by his first wife, the Ganga, he begot 3 brilliant sons whose names are Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidur. The Mahabharata was compiled by Vyasadeva after the battle of Kurukshetra and after the death of all the heroes of Mahabharata. It was first spoken in the royal assembly of Maharaj Janamejaya, the son of Maharaj Parikshit. Shall I read further?
Read it.
Brihadashva, an ancient sage who used to meet Maharaj Yudhishthir now and then. First of all, he met Maharaj Yudhishthir at Kamyavan. This sage narrated the history of Maharaj Nala. There is another Brihadashva who is the son of the Ikshvaku dynasty, Mahabharat Vanaparva 2.209.4-5. Bharadwaja. He is one of the 7 great rishis and was present at the time of the birth ceremony of Arjun. The powerful rishi sometimes undertook severe penances on the shore of the Ganga, and his ashram is still celebrated at Prayagdham. It is learned that this rishi, while taking bath in the Ganga, happened to meet Gritachi, one of the beautiful society girls of heaven, and thus he discharged semen which was kept and preserved in an earthen pot and from which Drona was born. So Dronacharya is the son of Bharadwaj Muni. Others say that Bharadwaj, the father of Drona, is a different person from Maharshi Bharadwaj. He was a great devotee of Brahma. Once he approached Dronacharya and requested him to stop the battle of Kurukshetra. Parashuram or Renuka Sutta. He is the son of Maharshi Jamadagni and Srimati Renuka. Thus, he is also known as Renuka Sutta. He is one of the powerful incarnations of God, and he killed the Kshatriya community as a whole 21 times. With the blood of the Kshatriyas, he pleased the souls of his forefathers. Later on, he underwent severe penances at the Mahendra Parvat. After taking the whole earth from the Kshatriyas, he gave it in charity to Kashyap Muni. Parashuram instructed the Dhanurved or the science of fighting to Dronacharya because he happened to be a Brahmana. He was present during the coronation of Maharaj Yudhishthir and he celebrated the function along with other great rishis. Parashuram is so old that he met both Ram and Krishna at different times. He fought with Ram, but he accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He also praised Arjun when he saw him with Krishna. When Bhishma refused to marry Amba, who wanted him to become her husband, Amba met Parshuram, and by her request only, he asked Bhishma Dev to accept her as his wife. Bhishma refused to obey his order, although he was one of the spiritual masters of Bhishma Dev. Parashuram fought with Bhishma Dev, and when Bhishma neglected his warning, both of them fought very severely, and at last, Parshuram was pleased with Bhishma and gave him the benediction of becoming the greatest fighter in the world.
Okay, from
Vasishtha.
here,
Okay.
Simula read some here.
Vasishtha, the great celebrated sage among the Brahmanas, well known as Brahma Rishi Vasishtha Deva. He is a prominent figure in both the Ramayana and Mahabharata periods. He celebrated the coronation ceremony of the personality of Godhead, Sri Ram. He was present also on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He could approach all the higher and lower planets, and his name is also connected with the history of Hiranyakashipu. There was a great tension between him and Vishwamitra, who wanted his Kamdhenu wish-fulfilling cow. Vasishtha Muni refused to spare his Kamdhenu, and for this Vishwamitra killed his 100 sons. As a perfect Brahman, he tolerated all the taunts of Vishwamitra. Once he tried to commit suicide on account of Vishwamitra's torture, but all his attempts were unsuccessful. He jumped from a hill, but the stones on which he fell became a stack of cotton, and thus he was saved. He jumped into the ocean, but the waves washed him ashore. He jumped into the river, but the river also washed him ashore. Thus all his suicide attempts were unsuccessful. He is also one of the 7 rishis and husband of Arundhati, the famous star. Indra Pramad, another celebrated rishi. Trita, one of the 3 sons of Prajapati Gautam. He was the third son, and his other two brothers were known as Ekat and Dvaita. All the brothers were great sages and strict followers of the principles of religion. By dint of severe penances, they were promoted to Brahma Loka, the planet where Brahmaji lives. Once, Trita Muni fell into a well. He was an organizing worker of many sacrifices, and as one of the great sages, he also came to show respect to Bhishmaji at his deathbed. He was one of the 7 sages in the Varuna Loka. He hailed from the western countries of the world. As such, most probably, he belonged to the European countries. At that time, the whole world was under one Vedic culture. Kritsamad, one of the sages of heavenly kingdom. He was a close friend of Indra, the king of heaven, and was as great as Brahaspati. He used to visit the royal assembly of Maharaja Yudhishthir, and he also visited the place where Bhishma Dev breathed his last. Sometimes he explained the glories of Lord Shiva before Maharaja Yudhishthir. He was the son of Vitahabhya, and he resembled in features the body of Indra. Sometimes the enemies of Indra mistook him to be Indra and arrested him. He was a great scholar of the Rig Veda, and thus he was highly respected by the Brahman community. He lived a life of celibacy and was powerful in every respect. Asit. There was a king of the same name, but here in the Asit mentioned is the Asit Deval. Asita Deval Rishi, a great powerful sage of the time. He explained to his father 150,000 verses from the Mahabharata. He was one of the members in the snake sacrifice of...
How many? 15 lakhs.
15 lakh.
1 lakh.
No, sorry. 15 lakh verses from the Mahabharata. He was one of the members in the snake sacrifice of Maharaja Janmajay. He was also present during the coronation ceremony of Maharaja Yudhishthir along with other great rishis. He also gave Maharaja Yudhishthir instructions while he was on the Anjana hill. He was also one of the devotees of Lord Shiva. Kakshivan, one of the sons of Gautamani and the father of great sage Chanda Kaushika. He was one of the members of parliament of Maharaja Yudhishthir. Atri. Atri Muni was a great Brahman sage and was one of the mental sons of Brahmaji. Brahmaji is so powerful that simply by thinking of a son, he can have it. These sons are also known as Manasputras. Out of 7 Manasputras of Brahmaji and out of 7 great Brahman sages, Asit was one. In his family, the great Prachetas were also born. Atri Muni had 2 Kshatriya sons who became kings. King Arthama is one of them. He is counted as one of the 21 Prajapatis. His wife's name was Ansuya, and he helped Maharaja Parikshit in his great sacrifices. Kaushik, one of the permanent rishi members in the royal assembly of Maharaja Yudhishthir. He sometimes met Lord Krishna. There are several other sages of the same time. Sudarshana. This wheel, which is accepted by the personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Krishna, as his personal weapon, is the most powerful weapon, greater than the Brahmastra or similar other disastrous weapons. In some of the Vedic literature, it is said that Agni Dev, the fire god, presented this weapon of Lord Sri Krishna. But factually, this weapon is eternally carried by the Lord. Agni Dev presented this weapon to Krishna in the same way that Rukmani was given by Maharaja Rukma to the Lord. The Lord accepts such presentation from his devotees, even though such presentations are eternally his property. There is an elaborate description of this weapon in the Adi Parva of the Mahabharata. Lord Shri Krishna used this weapon to kill Shishupala, a rival of the Lord. He also kills Shalva by this weapon, and sometimes he wanted his friend Arjun to use it to kill his enemies. Mahabharata, Virat Parva 56.3. Hare Krishna.
About Kaushika is not given more. Sometimes Vishwamitra is also called as Kaushika. So here that is why permanent rishi member of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Whom Kaushika has been mentioned has been not given. A permanent member of rishi has been given. So some descriptions about the sages in this purport. Last verse. Anye cha munayo brahman brahmarata dayo malaha shishai rupeta ajammu kashyapangi rasadayah. Anye cha munayo brahman brahmarata dayo malaha shishai rupeta ajagmu kashyapangi rasadayah. So many others also came. Brahmarata, that is Uday Goswami. Brahmarata means one who is more inclined towards Lord. Brahmarata. Adeha, other sages, others also. Amalaha, completely purified. Shishyahe, by the disciples. Petaha, accompanied. Ajagmo, arrived. Kashyap Rishi came. Angarisha came. Angarisha, Adeha, all came along with their disciples. All other purified souls, Kashyap, Angarisha, and others came along with their disciples. Now again here in this purport about Sukadeva Goswami, Kashyap and Angarish has been given. So Narayana read. Gadi Prabhu, mute your phone.
Anye cha munayo brahman brahmarata dayo malaha शिष्यै रूपेता आजग्मुः कश्यपाङ्गिरसादयः. Translation. And many others like Shukadev Goswami and other purified souls, Kashyapa and Angarisha, and others, all accompanied by their respective disciples, arrived there. Purport. Shukadev Goswami, Brahmarata, the famous son and disciple of Sri Vyasadev, who taught him first the Mahabharata and then Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadev Goswami recited 14 lakh verses of the Mahabharata in the councils of the Gandharvas, Yakshas and Rakshasas, and he recited Srimad Bhagavatam for the first time in the presence of Maharaj Parikshit. He thoroughly studied all the Vedic literatures from his great father. Thus, he was a completely purified soul by dint of his extensive knowledge in the principles of religion. From Mahabharata, Sabha Parva 4.11, it is understood that he was also present in the royal assembly of Maharaj Yudhishthir and at the time of fasting of Maharaj Parikshit. As a bona fide disciple of Sri Vyasadev, he inquired from his father very extensively about religious principles and spiritual values. And his great father also satisfied him by teaching him the yoga system by which one can attain the spiritual kingdom, the difference between fruitive work and empiric knowledge, the ways and means of attaining spiritual realization, the 4 ashramas, namely the student life, the householder life, the retired life, and the renounced life, the sublime position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the process of seeing him eye to eye, the bona fide candidate for receiving knowledge, the consideration of the 5 elements, the unique position of intelligence, the consciousness of the material nature, and the living entity, the symptoms of the self-realized soul, the working principles of the material body, the symptoms of the influential modes of nature, the tree of perpetual desire, and psychic activities. Sometimes he went to the sun planet with the permission of his father and Naradji. Descriptions of his travel in space are given in the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata 332. At last, he attained the transcendental realm. He is known by different names like Araneya, Arunisutta, Vaiyasaki, and Vyasatmaja. Kashyapa, one of the Prajapatis, the son of Marichi, and one of the son-in-laws of Prajapati Daksha. He is the father of the gigantic bird Garuda, who was given elephants and tortoises as eatables. He married 13 daughters of Prajapati Daksha, and their names are Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kashtha, Arishtha, Surasa, Ila, Muni, Krodhavasha, Tamra, Surabhi, Sarama, and Timi. He begot many children, both demigods and demons, by those wives. From his first wife, Aditi, all 12 Adityas were born. One of them is Vamana, the incarnation of Godhead. This great sage Kashyapa was also present at the time of Arjuna's birth. He received a presentation of the whole world from Parshurama, and later on he asked Parshurama to go out of the world. His other name is Arishtanemi. He lives on the northern side of the universe. Angirasa. He is the son of Maharshi Angira and is known as Brahaspati, the priest of demigods. It is said that Dronacharya was his partial incarnation. Shukracharya was the spiritual master of demons, and Brahaspati challenged him. His son is Kacha, and he delivered the fire weapon first to Bharadwaj Muni. He begot 6 sons, like the fire god, by his wife Chandramasi, one of the reputed stars. He could travel in space, and therefore he could present himself even in planets of Brahmaloka and Indraloka. He advised the king of heaven, Indra, about conquering the demons. Once he cursed Indra, who thus had to become a hog on the earth and was unwilling to return to heaven. Such is the power of the attraction of the illusionary energy. Even a hog does not wish to part with its earthly possessions in exchange of a heavenly kingdom. He was the religious preceptor of the natives of different planets. Hare Krishna.
Hmm. Angarisha, Kashyap, about everybody has been given. So any doubts in this?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
This sacrifice, all the snakes of the world were to be killed. All the snakes of the world.
Yes. He did such a big sacrifice, Jagannatha. He wanted all the snakes to be killed because and Takshak came and bit his father. Actually, again, this is a Leela. Parikshit Maharaj is a purified soul. No material snake can bite him. So here also Acharya is right. There are two Parikshit. One is who is eternal Parshada, who can never be bitten by any snake. One is just for the Leela sake.
And what is the meaning of Prajapati?
One from whom all the progeny starts. Their work is to create the progeny. Prajapatis. The father of all the prajas. Any other doubt? Okay. Stop here. One chapter for the person with the Pavan Pavan and Vishnu Vishnu